Success isn't just about working harder. It's about reprogramming your mind to work for you. See, your subconscious is already shaping your life whether you realize it or not. This is why you can see people who work their entire life, they work as hard as they possibly can, they do as much as they possibly can, they sometimes die broke, they die poor, and they die unhappy. And then you see other people who are like living this great life, not putting effort in at all, or at least it seems that way. And you have to wonder, what is the difference between these two people? Why are they getting such different results? The truth is, the thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you hold, the emotions that you feel on a daily basis are all wiring your brain for success or keeping you stuck. And what I see a lot of, and I know this because I've seen it in myself first, is people staying stuck. Doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't have to stay that way. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple shifts that anyone can make, easy but life-changing. We have to remember simplicity is the key to the best things in life. And by the way, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dave, and I love helping people on the transformational journey. I love hearing the stories. I love your comments that you leave down below. So if you find value in this content, please subscribe and give it a like. And don't forget to check out the affiliate links below for tools and resources to help your transformational journey, some of which are free PDFs that I give away to you that will help you better define where you want to go in life. So with that, let's get back to the video. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza and Joseph Murphy both teach the same powerful truth. You can rewire your subconscious to attract wealth, health, happiness, success, anything that you want. Anything. It's proven. It's not like it just works for some people. You can definitely do this. Now, let's talk about how your subconscious shapes your reality. So first thing that we look at is Dr. Joe Dispenza's work in neuroplasticity. And this proves that the brain is constantly rewiring itself. Your whole life, every week, every month, every year, your brain is just constantly rewiring itself based on what you're experiencing in life. So Joe Dispenza teaches that through meditation and visualization, you can reshape your thought patterns and change your life at a biological level, right? They do brain scans on people. They can actually measure the biological change by thinking different thoughts, visualizing, and all these other powerful tools that he teaches. So meditation is scientifically proven to increase focus, reduce stress. It helps you to create new neural connections that align with your goals. So when we mentally rehearse success, our brain begins to believe it's already happening. And what this does is it shifts our mindset, and then it changes our behavior to match. So some of the demystification, the like really magical stuff about this is that it doesn't like do some magic trick out in the universe. What it does is it makes you act differently. So when you see opportunities, you respond to them in a completely different way. This is the life change that we're seeking. Dr. Joseph Murphy explained the same concept through belief and affirmations. Now, Dr. Joseph Murphy wrote most of his writings back in the 1940s and 1950s. So things were a lot different then. They didn't have the technology back then that we have today to do brain scans and really measure this stuff. But it still works the same because the subconscious mind acts like a garden. So whatever thoughts you plant, they will grow. And the way that we prove this is if you take a watermelon seed and you go outside and you plant that and you water it, you're not going to get carrots. You're going to get watermelons. This is absolute scientific law. You're not going to get a carrot when you plant a watermelon seed. And the same thing happens with thoughts. You can't think a negative thought continuously and continue to feed emotion into it and think about it and dwell on it. You can't continue to do that and get positive things in your life. It just doesn't work that way. So what we do is positive affirmations, when we repeat them consistently, they will reshape our subconscious beliefs and again, change our life. And this leads to real world results. So very simple. One method is rooted in science and seeing the actual change, and the other is rooted more in spirituality. And where it comes to you is you have to decide which one works for you, which one resonates more. You can take the scientific path, or you can take a more spiritual path, or maybe a little bit of both. But you have to make the decision for yourself which one works for you. Both point to the same truth. Your subconscious determines your reality. All right, so in this next part, I want to give you some actual examples from this book, Becoming Supernatural, Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And you might be skeptical. You might think, hey, let's see some real people who have used these things, Dave, to change their life. So Dispenza's students report improved health, career success, and even recovery from chronic conditions. And what this brings me to is the story of Anna. This is in chapter 1 of Becoming Supernatural. Anna was a lady whose husband committed suicide. She had no idea he was sick. He just left the house. A couple hours later, the cops come, tell her what happened. She's devastated. 2 young kids living in the house, had no idea. And this just hit her with that shock. And I wanted to read some of the pieces from this that I highlighted that I think are very important. First thing Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about is how the stress hormones take over. So this is all part of her story. So he says here, in truth, no organism in nature can endure living in emergency mode for extended periods of time. And that's exactly what happened to her. She had a lot of thoughts about, she had no idea. Why did my husband commit suicide? Like, what happened? I didn't even know he was struggling. Was it something that I did? All these thoughts and questions go through our mind, and we can never get an answer. The person is gone. So she was living in that stress cycle because those thoughts won't let you out. And if you continuously spend time in that stress environment, it breaks your body down, and it causes all kinds of physical problems, mental problems, emotional problems. So we have to understand that we can't live there. Stress is only designed to get us out of a harmful situation, and then we have to get back in to the higher levels of energy. So this is important. I see people living like this every day, living in that stress, people that live day after day after day in stressed out modes of existence. And it breaks the body down. You can see it in aging. It tears them apart. Okay, the next thing he says, we can knock our brains and bodies out of normal physiology just by thinking about an all too familiar past or trying to control an unpredictable future. There's another important part of Anna's story. She was either thinking about the past or thinking about the future. And then he talks about how by repeatedly recalling the experience, Anna was unintentionally anchoring her brain and body into the past. And what happened was, to kind of wrap this up, she wound up getting tons of physical ailments. A lot of her body broke down. She was dealing with all kinds of terrible physical issues. She was at one point got into a wheelchair. Then after that, she started getting into abusive relationships, attracting that negative energy that she was constantly feeling. And the thing to understand here is we don't always do this intentionally, right? It's not like we choose it intentionally. Sometimes we just let thoughts slip in, or certain ways of living, or certain modes of living. And we don't even realize the damage that it's doing to us until it's too late. So it's really important to make that distinction that a lot of times in life, stressful situations or health problems, money problems, whatever it is, they're not because we actually chose them. A lot of times it's just that we didn't have awareness and we did something that that we repeat over and over again that brings us to that point. So it's important to understand that. To wrap up the story, the good side of this is Anna attended one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreats, and she got into this meditation, ritualistic meditation, self-discipline every day, whether she felt like it or not. And she did that meditation, and over a course of, I think, 6 months to a year, she completely recovered her health, and now she's a student or a teacher for Dr. Joe Dispenza in his retreats. So it's just a phenomenal comeback story. And one of the things I want to emphasize is she said, I did the meditation 45 minutes a day, every day. She did it when she didn't feel like doing it. I know a lot of times we get into these things and then we go, we start a project or we start meditating for a week and all of a sudden we're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to do it today. No, she did it every single day until she was completely healed. That's important to remember. The other example I wanted to give you comes from Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And it was how he healed his skin. He had a malignancy of the skin and he actually healed it through belief and affirmation. And I wanted to give you the story here. This is on page 55. The subconscious heals a malignancy of the skin. And he says, a personal healing will ever be the most convincing evidence of the healing power of the subconscious mind. And what he did is he wrote an affirmation for himself. And he says, I prayed in a very simple way as follows. And he says, my body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. Its wisdom fashioned all of my organs, tissues, muscles, and bones. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every atom of my being, making me whole and perfect now. I give thanks for the healing taking place in me now. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. And he says, I prayed aloud for 5 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day, repeating the above simple prayer. In about 3 months, my skin was whole and perfect. So just some really amazing stories from the masters themselves, Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Joseph Murphy. So as promised earlier, let me give you 3 simple steps, 3 things that you can do on a daily basis. It's going to help you start this process or continue it if you've already started. So first one is meditation. Spending 5 to 10 minutes a day in meditation, visualizing your success. Now, I want to just be very clear about this. This is not the normal type of meditation that we think of. Meditation has a lot of different definitions. It can be done a lot of different ways. What I'm talking about is very specific. We are meditating on the vision of you achieving the outcome that you want, right? So say, for instance, let's say you want to earn $50,000 a month. We are meditating on seeing that money in your bank account. You're attaching emotion to it. How good does it feel to give money to your favorite charity? Write a check for $5,000 to St. Jude's to help those children, or maybe like give Kids the World Foundation in Orlando, Florida. And you're seeing yourself giving that money. It's a contribution, and you feel the joy of knowing that you're helping someone else achieve their wish and their desire. And then you're thinking about how your life would be. How would it change your life? We want to attach the emotion to it. Would you get up tomorrow and do the same thing that you did today if you had $50,000 a month of income coming in? See, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about meditation. It's meditation plus visualization. So spending 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before you go to bed, preferably when you're in bed at night and you're just drifting off to sleep, you want to think about that ideal vision of yourself. You want to feel it. You want to see it as done. And you want to rehearse that as much as you possibly can and dwell on it. Now, the same way a person dwells on a negative thought and brings more negativity into their life, you can dwell on this positive vision of yourself achieving your goal, whatever it is you choose for you. It could be health, could be wealth, could be love, could be success, whatever the deal is that you want. You have to visualize it and see it in your mind. See it as clear as a Hollywood movie and see yourself doing it. And this will rewire your brain in neurological ways, and it'll transform your life. See, your brain forms new connections based on what you focus on. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to what we're focused on, and we let our mind drift off, or we just do something that somebody else wants or whatever's in our environment. And that trains us. That trains our brain in a certain way. We need to be very intentional about at least 5 to 10 minutes a day when you start your day and when you end your day, 5 minutes at each point, and really take control of our visualization. I know if you do this for 30 days, you'll have amazing results happen in your life. Now, step 2, affirmations. We want to write and repeat positive affirmations that align with your goals. So again, whatever it is that you want in your life, you want to write it down. See, there's something magical that happens when you hold a pen in your hand and you write something down and you see it on paper in front of you. There's something really magical that happens. And it's a psychoneural connection that it takes for your hand to actually write that out. So there's a huge difference between just thinking about a positive statement and actually writing it out, seeing it, and then rereading it to yourself. So there's a huge difference there. Please don't underestimate how powerful that is. Now, studies show that repetition strengthens neural pathways. So when we're writing this out every morning before we get started, and if you put it on an index card, you can carry it with you all day long, this strengthens the neural pathways. Now, step 3, practicing gratitude. Focusing on abundance rewires your brain for positivity. There's no doubt. And people who practice gratitude experience higher levels of happiness and success. So for one, you're creating a better emotional life. I know what it's like from my past to be just drowning in negativity. And at that point, all the money in the world wouldn't help. Possessions don't help. There's nothing worse than living in a state of negativity day in, day out. And through gratitude and focusing on abundance, we can actually train our brain to live in a more positive way. And there's another law that says whatever you focus on, you will get more of. So therefore, let's say again that you want more money in life and you only have $1. If you focus on, I am grateful for this dollar and what it can do for me, you will then receive more money. Again, just like the seeds being planted, absolute truth, absolute law. Now, it may not come as fast as you want. We can never guarantee the time frame. Every seed has a different germination period, 180 days, 260 days, whatever it is. But we have to continuously be planting and watering in order to make our dreams a reality. Now, I want to wrap this up by leaving you with one final thought. Your subconscious mind is always working, and it's always shaping your reality with every thought, every belief, and every emotion. So I know sometimes we're still skeptical about this stuff, but let me just give you a quick little insight into how powerful this stuff is, okay? So I want you to think back in your past, sometime in your life, have you ever done anything that you thought was impossible until you did it, and now you're living in that state and you're actually living that thing that at one time, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you thought it was impossible? If you have that, then everything about shaping your reality and thinking thought, like rewiring your brain, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, you have to rewire your reality before you actually get there. So right now, in a state that you're in, you have to see your future as it's already done. And a lot of people struggle with this. But the thought that you need to keep is, if you've ever done something that you thought was impossible in the past, then you can definitely do this. And look around in the world. Is there anybody who's doing the thing that you want to do? And I guarantee you there's hundreds of thousands of people that are living that same dream. And if they can do it, it's possible for you. You need to become a possibility thinker. It's so powerful and so important. So the question isn't whether or not it works. The question is, are you directing your mind, your subconscious, your life towards the success that you want to see? So my challenge is, start today. Start reprogramming your mind, start shifting your reality, practice the 3 steps that I talked about in this video, and let me know if they help. And if you like this content and you would like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more transformational insights. Like I said earlier, there's I give free PDFs and things away in the description down below. There's links for that. There's affiliate links for cool stuff that will help you increase your transformational journey, help you with meditation stuff. I put all kinds of stuff in the description below. And if you really want to go all in, drop a comment below and let me know what step you're going to start implementing in your life today. Because when you leave comments like that, it feeds others, it helps others on the transformational journey, and we want to see all of that. So let's get out there and make it happen.